Good afternoon again, everybody. Respected faculties and students. Myself, Bijen Mishra. I hail from Odisha. I did my masters in 1988. I joined Indian Council of Medical Research as a researcher. I did my research work for epidemiological health hazards surrounding to thermal power station. And later joined Ministry of Water Resources as a technical officer. And subsequently I worked for with some cement companies. So for cement mining, then your jetties, bulk transportation system. It involves all environmental and social issues. Later I worked for a hydropower project in Himalayas. And the last assignment was with, starting from 2006, I'm working with Reliance Infra's Reliance Power also, so the Reliance Energy Group. So I look after the environment and social aspects as a whole throughout my career since last 23 years. Probably my background, my culture, my upbringing, all these things helped me to adopt this profession, which I find to be the most suitable as a person for as Mishra, as a Bijen Mishra. This profession suits me. It suits me. That is why I opted for this profession. It is not by default. My parents made me some engineer or some scientist. I chose it by my own. So be there open of mind. I'll be sharing what I understood since last 23 years, whatever I have experienced from my profession, that how it goes in hand when I started, what I was doing, then by the time how it come up and how it resulted transforming the professionalism and the approach of the industry, the governments looking towards the issues, problems, all these things. So I tried to make those experiences to share with you in terms of sustainability. Probably you must all be aware of the sustainability, and you all are business managers. But I am just putting it. I just wanted to put your definition to be a sustainable business manager. Instead of calling yourself business managers, you call yourself sustainable business manager. Sustainable is a word, you can put it either prefix or suffix or little. The way you want, you can pick it up and put it on the appropriate place. Now it is your choice to put this word. So it is your choice how you take all those things from your life, from your expertise, from your studies, from your surroundings, from the legislation, from the society, wherever you fit. What do you understand the business? I understand it is your occupation, regular occupation, or your profession, or the trade you are into, or the activity that someone is engaged in. Might be a business manager in terms of Munna Bhai also. That is also, he has got a profession into that, he is into that type of thing. But again, it is associated with the economic system. So the economic system, your society, your environment, based on which you are surviving, the backbone on which you are cashing upon, your livelihood is dependent. That is business for you. Agreed? So, what do you need for business? To start up a business, what do you want? What do you want? Ideas. Transform into plan. Followed by? Pardon? You want to make strategies to achieve it? You need finance? And you execute it? Then what next? Monitoring also forms a part of the plan, strategy and execution also. So you will go on monitoring it. What else? Sustaining your business so that you grow. Probably in 93, 4, I couldn't remember, some general, I just started my career, somebody told me, मैंने उनको ऐसे ही बोला, सर हमारी कंपनी तो बहुत अच्छा कर रही है, we are seeing a very bright future in this company and all these things. Then he told, okay, how many years of service you have done till now? I told, sir, 4 years. Okay, I am working in this company since last 20 years. I told, okay, sir, what next? Going to the starting level is fine, but are you able to sustain it? Answer maybe yes, maybe no. It depends that how your efforts are going on to putting the things in right place so that you sustain. So that the organization grows as well as you also grow the same time. So everybody has got a count, everybody has got a effort, everybody has got a contribution for the sustenance of the business. Now business managers now you are being the business manager of certain organization. So what you require to do that sustenance activity to make the business sustainable for you, for your future. So what I understand by sustenance? This is the continual result of the process which is derived from the sense of belongingness for the inherent qualities of a process. Any process has got inherent qualities into it. So you should have a sense of belongingness. This is mine. This is what I owe. This is my responsibility. This is what I am accountable for. Then in that case, you'll have it. So what you do? You go on trying to make it to the next level. What next best? What is the best next coming up? What is the best? So your effort through nurturing, you nurture it and you have a respect. Respect means you are taking the inputs from the environmental, social and the economical value from the chain of life. Environment, economic and social, the three aspects which has got a major contribution towards the chain of life. The inputs you are taking from there, continuously you are putting your best of your efforts to nurture the things into it, then you are taking it to the next level. So all this process, your effort is making this business sustenance. So I conclude business sustainability as the creation of resilient organizations through integrated economic, social and environmental system for creation of value. I don't use the word wealth. I use the word value. You are creating a value for your society, you are creating a value for your life, you are creating a value for the future to come. So bring some ethical sense when you are working. Don't go by the words what has been written or what has been studied into your textbooks in these organizations or institutes or wherever. Bring some ethics into your attitude. Bring the ethics into your power of working. Give this ethics to as an input to your working, so that you will evolve. Not many things will come up automatically, which is never you will find, never in any textbook you will never find it. Probably your faculties are doing their best to teach you out of their sense. Most of the things they are teaching you, they are bringing it with their experience. This will happen. So that is what they are passing on to you. Now it is you to capture those things, take out the period and use it in your life. That is what business sustainability is. So what I understand, sustainable business manager's role, they devising a methodology of sustaining the business system, practicing an innovative method by taking the integration of economics, social and environmental value of the society to the next level of expectation of society is called as sustainable business management. Now who practices it or lead the team is our sustainable business manager. Sustainable, again I am telling you that a word might be prefixed, suffixed or put in between, the way you want to make it. So how does it come? Sustainability. So what has happened that industrial environment happened in 1960 to 1970. There is the industrial revolution. All of the world, everybody tried to come up with things to facilitate your life, to aid your life for a betterment. Every people wanted something. We are here, we are using all lot of things. It has come up from the industries only. Somebody has done a research on it. Somebody has taken out the material. Then you use it. And based on your feedback, it has gone to a superior level. What it had been evolved in 1960 might not be in today's day. So, how this sustainability came to into that? 16th, 17th, nobody thought of sustainability. Then, when industries came up, it is followed with your environmental issues. So, regulations started coming up in 1970 to 1982. Whole lot of regulations started coming up. India has got Ministry of Environment formed at that point of time. So, regulations are there. When regulatory mechanism came to curb the pollutions or the environmental issues created or arised because of the industrial activity, then people saw it as to be a social responsibility, because who is ultimately getting affected? It is society. And society means what? We all living and non-living things. Surrounding to any of these, surrounding to you is called a society. So they are the sufferer. Now how to manage it? When comes the issue of management, then environmental came as an opportunity to manage these issues, these environmental issues as well as social issues. Just 93 till present. So first came your economic efficiency, which has got a substantial contribution towards your environmental accountability, and it has got an equal amount of social equity embedded into this. So that only gave rise to your sustainability. So being a sustainable manager, how do you work? This is what you think every day morning, innovation. You bring down some innovation. Then you discuss it with your colleagues, your peers, your seniors, everybody from floor attendant till the seniors. That what is there? This is in my mind. What is going to happen? Is it going to suffice my business goals requirement? Is it going to substantiate by some claims? Some responsibility is there, some accountability is there. Then you collect whole lot of ideas. You bring all sort of aspects, do a impact analysis. Then you report it, communicate it. Then you do a betterment. You always say that yes, this is, if you do this way, this aspect is, some negative aspect has been identified. Then that negative aspect is supposed to be addressed. It is to be turned to be a positive impact in terms of environment and social and economic. So that gives rise to a sustainable environment or a sustainable business management. This is how a sustainable manager works or starts a day and it never ends. The other day is a continual process. It never ends. Mind it never ends. So this is this is a, you can say, the clause of the entire sustainability business management aspect. This is one slide. Probably I will leave these things to you people. You can use it. This is a thing. The entire sustainability management is referred to a model pattern. So what has happened? That a concept of commitment to a core sustainability and theory that has been evolved from the TBL, that is triple bottom line. One is from social aspect, one from economic aspect, and the third one is from the environmental aspect. So all these three things taken together makes a core sustainability theory, and it's a plan for your organization. And you develop a model that how you are going to execute it. So what do? The impact is relations with stakeholders, and you make, to achieve those things, you make program strategy and operation, you make R&D, you make the measurement and reporting to the outside world, yes, You have to beat your own drum to say the word that yes, you are a sustainable company, your achievements are sustainable. And you get your relations with the stakeholders with tremendous, fantastic way. People start believing you. Believing your organizations means you are believing on you, your approach, your thought process. So your program strategy and operation gives rise to goals and objectives, which comes from your gap analysis. Then you design a program. Then program is getting funded. Then you install your program and it requires an infrastructure, followed by the management of the program. You raise a fund. Then the governance of this operation, the strategic operations. As a part of R&D output, you make research, you make better communication through training, conferences, then developing prototype tools, solutions, you make different experiments. As a part of measurement and reporting, you do social capital measurement, what was earlier and what is today, economic capital, natural, materials flow analysis, energy flow analysis, internal environmental cost accounting, what was the cost earlier on the head of environment and what is now. Then the ecological footprints. You say carbon footprint or ecological footprint is a very broader term. Carbon footprint is a very short term into that. Then the stakeholder social footprint, then stakeholder reporting and GRI reporting. GRI, you must be aware that global reporting initiative, reporting pattern is there, and probably in India some 60 or 70 companies are reporting out of the 120 billion people, 110 billion people, and we are only 60 to 70 industries are reporting on this GRI pattern, which has come up with that G4 guideline recently, and it has got sector specific reporting pattern and the aspects also. And when you talk about the relation with the stakeholders, you identify them, then the employee shareholders, communities, partners, regulators, and other stakeholder outreach, that transparency, inclusiveness, conferences, website, training, governance, through it is you are outreaching your stakeholders, you are marketing it, your media relation is getting better. Probably while you are going for the planning, means checking out the issues, that what may be the sustainability, then what may be the issues which are going to affect my business as a matter of non-sustainable practices. So what are those issues? Talk about economic, then it is innovation, prosperity and productivity. Just talk about social equity, it is poverty, community, health and wellness, human rights, equitable sharing of resources and risks. Environmental accountability is climate change in the broader sense, land use, water quality and quantity, biodiversity, responsible use of renewable and non-renewable sources. And the local is most impacted, whereas the region and the country and the international level comes in the later stage. So that is why there is a saying that you think globally and act locally. That is the reason behind it. Why we say so? Then once you go for self-assessment, before to that, you think of certain things. When doing your due diligence on where your company stands, make sure you look towards source outside the company and what key stakeholders are saying. Not like that you are going to your seniors or peers or asking them, क्या सोचते हैं आप कंपनी के बारे में, हमारी regulatory requirement, are you fulfilling it? What the reply you are expecting from them? Most of you are experienced. What your HR manager says to you? Are you complying with all of your factories acts? Are you paying the laborers properly? Are the workers colony has got adequate facilities as mentioned into the factories act? You ask your HR manager. What he says? Yes. When you go to the colony, labor colony, do you find everything is compliant? No. Don't expect it is to be also 100% compliant. But at least a sensible commitment is required. A sensible compliance is required. Wherein people feel comfortable. If Factories Act says that a 10 feet by 10 feet room should accommodate 10 persons to work for 8 hours. If the room size is 8 by 10, don't make a noise out of it. It is to be 10 out of 10 and it should, why it is 8 by 10. Probably there is some other issue, the land is not there. People are coming and deliveries are 9, it is not 10. Go for the root cause analysis. Look at your company's reports. Are they balanced? Means do they contain positive and negative information? Are they based on data and objective information? Are they comprehensive? Do they tell the whole story or it is just like blah blah? I'll share one of my experience. I was with a cement company. Some it must be around 11 a.m. in the morning. Somebody called me. मिठाई खिला रहे हो क्या? मैंने क्या हो गया? What has happened? मिठाई क्यों खिला? Where you were calling from? मोबाइल नहीं था उस टाइम. पर मैं बॉम्बे ऑफिस से बोल रहा हूँ. मैंने हाँ बताइए. मैं आपको तो मिठाई खिलाना चाहिए. भाई बॉस हुआ क्या है? बताइए तो सही. Why I should offer sweets and how will offer sweet to you in Bombay? I am sitting in Himachal Pradesh. How will offer you? तुम्हारा नाम कंपनी के उसमें एनुअल रिपोर्ट में आया है. मैंने क्या किया? What I did? अरे तुमने देखा नहीं एनुअल रिपोर्ट? नहीं भाई देखा नहीं. क्या हुआ क्या है? तुम्हारा नाम एनुअल रिपोर्ट में आया. क्या आया पता नहीं. जिसका नाम आया उसको नहीं मालूम. जो बोल रहे हैं उसको भी नहीं पता. तो then I told कि will you read it out for me? बोला मंगवा के बताता हूँ आपको. And he is asking sweets for me. After half an hour again he came. तुम्हारा नाम आया Bijen Mishra, environmental engineer, sites at apple orchard, just adjacent to the mining activity, something like that. फिर मैंने बोला कहाँ है mining में apple orchard, ये भी बता दो मेरे को. I have not seen, I have not set up. नहीं एक है, इसमें तुम्हारा नाम है. Then my boss called me. अरे यार बहुत बढ़िया हो गया, तुम्हारा नाम भी annual report में. मैंने सर what is the value I have added to company? Is it like that? That really I have set up a orchard? No. What I did, the annual report didn't reveal the entire story. What we did there was an apple orchard into our minds. We retained it. We didn't touch that ground. And the apple become, that fruits came all along till it is there. Even if the mining operation was there. We retained that matter at that piece of land as it is. We didn't disturb it. So the entire story was not reflected in the report. So who has written it? Somebody who is very ornamental words or somebody who is fantastic into the writing of the things. He has put the word that we have set up apple orchard in the mining activity. She or he does not understand the writing of this sentence, how it is going to have a reflection on the stakeholders of the community. Because the poor chap in the village nearby to mining does not understand the English annual report. He does not sense what is annual report. Why will you understand? So that should not happen. You need to examine it. Do they set forth specific goals, targets and KPIs? Do they provide measures and assessment of the progress? These all are management systems. Do they include or incorporate feedback from the stakeholders? These all are required to be reflected at the company's sustainability report. Then look at how your company operates. Generally comply with laws, regulations and respect the rules and regulators. Does your company do that? और वो बोलता है कि ठीक है कोई आता है तो मैनेज कर दो, हमको कुछ नहीं करना है. Is your company doing so? And one fine morning while coming to duty will find a big lock. It has been said by some government authorities that you are not complying with the regulations. So you are debarred from operating. You cannot do this. Then it is whose money? It is stakeholders' money. It is your money. You are losing your job. The stakeholders who has put the money into the business lost. Have Have positive relations with the communities in which it operates. I am putting up a manufacturing unit and sending all the material to European market. Should I make a chance or should I make a effort to make my relations with the communities in a better way or not? Surrounding to me. मैं भी ये बोल के भी escape हो सकता हूँ. I can always say, I am sending all the materials to Europe. It has nothing to do with the local village. So why I should bother for CSR? Should I do that? No. You cannot do that. कल सुबह को, tomorrow morning, if there is a fire in your factory, these villagers will come for your rescue. These European fellows are not going to come and rescue you. So you have to mind it. Extend its analysis of impacts to include its value chain from supplier to customers. Have a good record on labor and human rights issue. The most challenging words are into it. The labor and human rights issue. Have a positive relation with the employees. Have minimization and optimization programs for environmental, social and economic impacts. Have a good record on environmental protection. These are inputs. Then you consider social and environmental issues before taking major actions and work to minimize adverse impacts and maximize positive ones. That is what comes from your aspect impact analysis. Then you understand the nature of your company's business. What are the primary environmental, social and economic impacts? Doing IT business, thinking of chemical hazards. Sir, hazardous waste management rule applicable है क्या इसमें? Sir, are we also covered under biogenetically modified materials import rules or regulations? And you are into IT business. Does it make a sense for you? No. Are you bothered about the R&R issues? You are not. You don't acquire land of the people, or it is a chunk of land given into the industrial area. So you need not to bother about that. What are the secondary impacts? In other words, what are the company's side effects? I have a carpet industry, say in Gurgaon, and no, I will tell another example. As I told you that I belong to Odisha. There is a district called Sambalpur. Are you aware? Yeah. There is a handloom saris used to come from there. Very famous, is known as Sambalpuri saris. You heard about that? No. Sambalpuri saris are there. Beautiful saris. Handloom. All these are made with handloom. There is a community who makes it. It starts from 2,000 rupees onwards. Makes 2 months or 3 months for a family to make a sari. Like carpets are being made in Uttar Pradesh, something like that. Now what has happened? Now with coming of this IT, people digitize that design, make the molds and all these things, get it printed in Hyderabad, selling those saris at a cost of 300 rupees. Till that time it was fine. Probably the markets are different. You are supplying a material to a market. See, if that same thing which is getting printed in Sambalpur is coming and setting in Sambalpur district, where is the handloom saris are being made, what will happen to those? Will they survive? Just compare 300 and 3000. And you cannot make it whether it is a handloom or it is a power loom material. It is so perfect. That is the secondary impact. Technology is there but misused. Does the company serve any protected or vulnerable customers, operate in environmentally sensitive areas, or deal directly with any critical social issues? This is one of the most important factors for an organization to think of. Being a sustainable manager, you have to look into these issues. And what specific industry issues is your company facing? Might be skill, might be raw material, might be supply, might be finance, might be there is not a market for your product, from from the company now, just now, something like that. So you consider, what you consider that organize the findings in a way that is most useful to you in terms of future actions. As an input from the aspect analysis, as you look at where the company stands, it might be useful to identify the organization's strength, weakness, risk, opportunity as a way of gaining further insight into the design and implementation of your program. That is a sustainable development program. Now comes the strategy. You have what now? Feel of what are the strengths, weakness, the strength, weakness, risk and opportunities as a way of gaining further insight into the design and implementation of your program. So this will go as a strategy for sustainability. You can develop a sustainability strategy at any level of your organization, from corporate headquarters to departments to plants and offices. Anywhere it can be implemented. Make sure you understand the organization's business objective. It is the most vital point. Your organization is engaged into some business activities, whereas your sustainable program is doing or showing something which is not in a tangible position to your business objective or goals. Then you are thrown, you are gone. How your part of organization support these activities? Then see if there is a way to contribute to those objectives by incorporating an approach to environmental, social or economic issues. Base यही तीन है, environmental, social and economic issues. So analyze the strengths, skill set, material resource, cultural advantage and stakeholder connections. Analyze the weakness. This will go as pros and cons sort of thing. Review and develop possible strategies based on the strengths and the weaknesses. The strategies are directly related to your strength and weaknesses. Strength will be used to address the weaknesses. Graph for low fruit. What is that? Identify customer needs. Differentiate from your competitors. To the same business there are different competitors. Identify those. Leverage your position. Anticipate future trends. What is going to happen after 2 years or 3 years of period? Start with your current skill set and knowledge base. What is there? You try to use that. It is not like that before you start you ask for money, for resource, for infrastructure, then the business manager will come to you and say, no, we don't need any sustainability. It is sustainable for me if you go out from this gate. So he becomes vulnerable to that aspect. Mind it. Search for the sweet spot. Look for overlaps with sustainability considerations. What else can be overlapping with your requirement? Minimize the adverse impact or be less bad. Identify processes that create waste. Can it be less waste? Look for areas of stakeholder conflict. Can it be lesser? Might be 10 this year. Can it be lesser to 5? Compare your impact with those other companies or the industry who are all into your business. Compare with those. Optimize positive impact. Push or build from minimization effort. Develop new product service ideas to help. Look for new markets in plain sight. So what is the consideration? Focus on the best 3 ideas you have and try to create projects by coordinating with other departments that you need to be involved. It is not your solo activity, other departments are required to be involved into that. So next action, once the strategy is finalized, the action will be to develop goal, procedure and key performance index. Before establishing goals, procedures and KPIs, look at the GRI guideline and other reporting frameworks. See, there are several, apart from this GRI guideline, probably you have got lot many other things to which you can use. There is a environmental and social accountability guideline by IFC. There is a triple bottom line guideline. There is a equitas principle guideline. Means most of these financial institutes are developed into Equator's principles. World Bank guideline is there, ADB's guideline is there. Most of the things if you go to that, almost everybody has got 8 to 10 sets of principles. Only the GRI or the triple bottom line guideline asks you to report, or it is basically a voluntary activity. It's not a mandatory one, but you can always refer to this. You go to ifc.org, if you go to adb.org, if you go to worldbank.org, you will find all set of guidelines into that. Probably you will be able to use it. Then you set goals in compatibility with international level of framework, reporting framework. Begin with existing business goals. Identify possible environment, social and economic goals. Incorporate those goals into your existing business goals. Don't try to change it. Embed your requirement into the business goal so that it gets further strengthened. Don't change it. Don't go to your manager and say, no, मैंने जो बोला वही सही है, ये गलत आप लिखे हो. The person who has written it, he must have given a thought of it. Some thought he must have given to it. So don't try to make any change to your existing business goal. You embed your requirement to that. Establish procedures. Ask what department, business entities and facilities must participate to achieve this goal. Write simple paragraphs in plain language that describe what needs to happen in order to reach the goals. Use these to identify needed procedures. The simple paragraphs in plain language should be your procedure to achieve your goal. Identify existing procedure into which new procedures can be embedded. Write new procedures that contain the required language. Then organization and resource requirement. Organize your effort in a way that works best for your company and department. Benchmark your competitors or how other successful initiatives have been organized within your company. You take a clue from them. Then you develop your organization's goals and organization's requirement and the resources. Then review your option. Assemble a task force to initiate or to coordinate. It is your choice again. And again, it is not simply your baby. It is going to be a combined effect of all departments together, wherein everybody is contributing towards the social, towards the economic, towards the environmental growth of the company and the surrounding. Find or appoint one or more sustainability champions to drive. ऐसा मत सोचना है कि बस अपने ही लेके चले जाओगे, साथ में किसी को रखो हमेशा. कल सुबह को तबीयत खराब हो गई तो क्या करोगे? It is not a sustainable practice. Take somebody along with you who knows the procedure. Establish a sustainability department. Is it a requirement? Fill it. Or with your existing responsibility, you can take it. It is you to take a call. Create a virtual sustainability department. Piggyback. Should I attach with MD's secretariat? मेरा काम तो हो जाएगा. नहीं, मैं अपना करता हूँ. Environment department के साथ ही काम करता हूँ. EHS will drive it. हो सकता है क्या? Then what you need to consider is you need two additional resources: funding and technical. The innovation program. Ultimately comes the stakeholder engagement. Stakeholder engagement is the key to findings and staying on the sustainable path, because they are the main fellows who will give you the criticism, who will give you the input for the development. Even if you could do everything right without it, engaging your stakeholders is an indispensable element of doing business in an interdependent world. Let others also take some credit. I have only given an idea to optimize the water supply to the level colony. We are getting wasted something around 10 cubic meter a day, and it was costing me some 10,000 rupees a day. So it was me. Let others to take some credit. So engaging the stakeholder is a brilliant idea. Engage the local stakeholders. Take feedback from media. Take feedback from regulatory authorities. Take feedback from your villagers. Understand your current level of engagement with stakeholders. Does your company engage in ongoing partnership? Engaged in project-specific partnership? Engage in open or two-way dialogue? I have listed it from the best to the worst. Did listen actively? Passively? Refuse to listen means you talk, they listen. You call everybody, make them sit, you speak and say bye and go. Is it like that? Reactive? ऐसा क्यों बोला हमने? Something like that? Or just leave it here, ignore it. Antagonize? Understand the current attitude and approach to stakeholder engagement. What is your current attitude? Is it systematic engagement or ad hoc engagement? Proactive or reactive? What is your attitude? It is a long-term approach to the stakeholder engagement or this is short-term? अपना sustainability management हो गया, कल सुबह से बात बंद. Is it like that? Trusting and suspicious. पता नहीं विजन मिश्रा है, कुछ तो लेके चला तो नहीं जाएगा, बैग देख लो इनका. Is it like that? No. So once you have got all the inputs with you, these all are aspects. Then you go for the impact analysis. The impact analysis, what you need to do for impact analysis? You map your stakeholders. Conduct a target analysis. Who are our stakeholders? Then you prepare from best to worst. Create an impact chart. What issues and activities affect our stakeholders? It is your issues and your activities which is affecting the stakeholders. It is not the vice versa. Never. Make a priority table. Make a priority table. Make an index mapping. Chart prepared. Make a graph. You all people are very, very efficient with making tables and graphs. Make it there. Understand what you want from the engagement. क्या चाहिए? Develop and implement simple engagement strategy. You are looking for a mutually beneficial relationship without trying to influence a specific outcome. If you support me, if you give me your piece of land or for acquisition for my expansion project, what I will do, I will make your vehicle engaged in my company. So you get 20,000 rupees a month. Is it like that? Should be, it is your approach towards the community? No. You will oblige certain people to get a better feedback on media? No. Develop advanced engagement strategy. If you have a specific objective, want to gain support or minimize opposition. That is a develop advanced engagement strategy. That is the secondary. That's not primary. Make sure you know whom we are dealing with. Are your stakeholders company focused, policy focused, issue focused, or a combination? That you need to differentiate between three. How much are they focused on you? In other words, are they looking only on your door or the others too? It is specifically meant for NGOs. If somebody is looking towards only you, as a personal gross, I look towards somebody, not towards others. I want to make a point that this boy, I make a point that I pull his leg. Is it like that? Should my approach should be like that only? No. Now the level of engagement. Do your homework and due diligence on stakeholders based on your priority list, what you had made the previous page. Understand the likelihood of success, failure and middle grounds. Again, a matrix you have to develop. Solid exit strategy. Something happens, how will exit from that policy, from that framework, from that deliverance. And be prepared for the unexpected. If something fails. So prepare for that. Make your management aware that yes, it is my exit plan. Prepare for long haul. May not happen in short term. We might have planned it for short term gain. 2 महीने में result आ जाएगा. No, it takes 2 years probably. That is the particular aspect which has got an impact in long range. Set expectations internally and externally. Then manage them. Develop a radar to establish network. Identify reliable source of information on trends and issues that may affect your business in the future and systematically work those networks. Get online, find and scan the best wishes. So get online informations, then you consider about 3 most recent unpleasant surprises that came from outside the company or department. Ask, how did we miss this? Means why you are not the first person to know this mishappen or unpleasant surprise which has come from outside company. Somebody else from your outside company or somebody else from the other department has pointed out that this is a mistake, this is going to affect my stakeholders. Then for knowing all these things, you need to measure and report. Reporting is the trail that walks the dog for many companies. They start with the need to report, then develop programs in order to have something to report, then try to justify what they are doing in terms of businesses. This is backward. This is what happens exactly, and this is what happens mostly. Try to avoid this. Otherwise, you are into the trap. Tomorrow morning, somebody in your circle asks you, कैसा कर दिया तुम्हारा तो ये मैटर है. Everything is open, nothing is secret, nothing is confidential. Everybody knows about all that. I am talking about business. 4 बजे आपको भी मालूम है कि 5 बजे आप स्कूल आप इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ होता है तो चाय पीने कौन कहाँ जाता है. You also know. So that is a backward calculation. Make a frontline calculation. Start with the business case. Make sure you have a strong business need or rationale for what you are measuring and how you are reporting or planning to report it. Consider any need that might seem outside the business case for reporting. Give thought to your political or relationship reasons for reporting on certain issues, which ought to be considered part of the business case. The important point is to recognize why you are reporting, to whom you are reporting, and for what purpose you are reporting. 3 aspects before you go for a reporting. Freeze all these requirements. Consider the global reporting initiative. We are in a very nascent stage of this global reporting. Divide that indicators. 70 indicators we have. 3 categories: strong, moderate, weak business need. We have, apart from 70, we have got sector specific indicators also. Take an incremental approach. Start with indicators for which there are strong business case and available data. Once those systems are complete, consider other indicators for which there is a strong business case but no available data. Add more information each year until you are reporting on the full range of indicators that pertain to your business. Consider seeking stakeholders' input. We used to receive these GRI reports from GRI. I become a stakeholder member as an individual capacity. I used to receive many reports. Attached to the end of the report, there is always an envelope with a piece of paper. You write down what you feel, how we can, how we can develop into this reporting format. What is your feedback on the indicators we have provided in it? Additionally, can you guide us something else? Fantastic. Following steps A through D will give you the making of a reporting strategy. Consider how and where you might be flexible in responding to stakeholders' requests for additional and different information. Anticipate their specific request, how you will respond, work toward getting stakeholders involved in helping you determine the content and focus of the report. Make sure you have a workable reporting plan before you make a public commitment. Don't make a commitment which you are not able to fulfill. While you are writing, you might be writing with an enthusiasm that I am to make a best of the reports. But unfortunately, you are going to make a big mistake. That are you able to fulfill that commitment what you are making into that report? As needed, continue internal reporting that is not reported publicly, provided this does not contradict your public report. Internal reporting, probably you will get a lot more feedback on these issues. Engage in industry-specific planning. Make sure that you look for industry-specific reporting guidance. Might be electronics industry, look towards electronics, cement, power sector, steel, mining, something like that. Assess the cost and risk of reporting. You have to analyze the risk of reporting also and the cost of reporting. How many reports you want to print? What media you want to give? Look carefully at the cost of reporting before you make a commitment. Many companies underestimate the difficulty of obtaining and reporting information with sufficient precision for public reporting. Look at the hidden cost. Are you willing to publish bad news and unflattering information? There is a report on ABB. I was seeing to that. Yes, they had mentioned that 2001 there is a big transformer oil spillage into some of the works in Sweden. They have reported it. And stakeholders asked them, some 19,000 stakeholders asked them that what is the management plan you have adopted for the non-occurrence of the incident. That is what? That is a hidden cost. 19,000 papers they might have to recycle, you print it, post it and confirm it, yes. Consider your ultimate goal should be integrated reporting. One unified report that does not distinguish financial or non-financial information, but rather contains all information that would be relevant to a prudent investor. Now talking about culture. Why culture is required? Culture means? What do you understand by culture? In the sense of what we are talking. Developing a habit of doing. That is your culture. Embed. If you are admitted to, you are not admitted to Great Lakes Institute, there is a culture of the institute. You need to follow it. It is to be embedded to your life, your activity. Sustainability flourishes in companies with certain characteristics. So the company's culture is usually set at the top, but sustainability projects are often initiated by the middle managers who create a supportive culture within their own departments. You can do by moving forward in 4 areas. Develop a vision. Do a vision of what sustainability means to your company or department. Start with following questions. How do your company goods and services or its process overlap with the interest of the society? How is the world enhanced or diminished by your company or department's activity? What are your company or department's major positive and negative impact? How does your company interact with today's stakeholders and think about its responsibility for a future generation? You have got answers for 4, you have developed a vision. Then ask how you would have liked to answer these questions. Your aspiration may be the start of the formulating your company or department's sustainability vision. Then you benchmark. Once you measure and you have completed the process by reporting it, then you benchmark it. Benchmark of what? What is our carbon footprint, by the way? How green are our products? Where do we stand related to our competitors in terms of sustainability? How to become greener company? What all strategy we need to develop? What is there in our competitor? How it operates? What is the auxiliary power consumption level for my competitor? And where do I stand? So there is a scope of development. there is a scope of increase in my aspect. There is a positive impact going to happen. How educated and engaged are our employees? Educated and engaged. Educated in not in the terms of certificates. It is educated means how much they are aware of the sustainability management issues. Who are our stakeholders and what do they think of our governance? Which groups do we need to partner with? I can reap benefit from them. Which other companies are doing a good job and they are more sustainable? Probably Goodyear company is working since last 300 years. Can I be partner with them to develop a tire business in India for a sustainability? What are our key sustainability metrics? How do we set improvement goals in this area? How do we innovate and offer greener products and services? Then gain self-awareness. As they say in politics, don't believe your own good praise. Answer the following question. Does the company see itself clearly? What is the company's capacity for honest self-awareness? All these things are external stakeholders' feedback you need to have. Is everyone afraid of the regulator or the lawyers in the company? Then you establish and promote leadership. Behind almost every example and case study you have cited a strong leader. Companies that support and nurture their leaders or future leaders are far more likely to progress than those that do not. So be that leader in your company by understanding the issues, at the same time making others understand also. You might have understood, you are a professional. You understand what is sustainability means. If you go to the software operator, they'll say कि यार साहब आप बाद में बात करना मेरे को production loss हो रहा है. You may not understand because of this this attitude or because of this of your activity, company is going to lose this 100 rupees an hour. So at the end of 8 hours, you are losing 1,000 rupees. You make them understand in economic sense. And moreover, you know that if you are doing this, your health is getting impacted. You are getting more vibration, more dust, might be more oil spillage. You can fall upon, you can have an accident in this. So be practical while you are making others understand. Engage in long-term thinking. Sustainable companies find ways to think, act in their long-term interest despite enormous pressure to act only in the short-term interest of their investors. Does the company think about the long-term or is the emphasis always on the next quarter? इस quarter में नहीं हुआ, अगले quarter में कर लेंगे. Or if they are thinking that no, okay, we have a 5-year plan, we will develop our green belt in 5 years. So this year we have got 10,000 plants and at the end of the 5 years we will have some 50,000 plants. So there is a plan. Now, the new sustainable managers must know, do sustainability investment pay back? How can we make sustainability part of our corporate culture? These are the input for a sustainable manager, for a sustainable business manager, who is supposed to have these answers ready with you while you are going to talk to your top management. Because you are the leader for developing this culture. You have to steer this drive. How can your supply chain be more competitive and sustainable? You might be taking help from others also. Will our customers pay for a sustainable product or services? आप जाइए किसी what do you call this retail food products chains, some Kirana stores, Big Bazaar, Spencer, whole lot many things are happening. Dal, then organic dal. Dal costing 80 rupees, then organic dal costing 160 rupees. क्या लेके आते हो? दाल लेके आते हो? आते तो वही हो तो 80 rupees वाला. It is not, the customer is not ready to pay. They might be thinking of sustainable practices for developing this organic dal and all these things. But if the customer is ready to pay for that amount, double the amount what is being charged as a regular price, no. Then Then what is the feedback that company is getting? My products are getting less volume sold in the market. So that is to be taken care of, how to reduce my cost. So for the reduction of the cost, they need an innovation. They need a technological intervention to their practices. They produce the same product but with a lesser price. How can I best engage stakeholders? Means get input from them. What are the best measurements of my company's environmental impact? How can our corporate sustainability practice attract and retain great employees? लोग छोड़ के भाग तो नहीं रहे मेरी कंपनी. HR, retention of employees, the biggest issue in today's industrial market. 2 years, new faces. 1 year, again new faces. 5 years, no faces. Why? Am I not making any practice which is going to return, which is going to attract my employee as one of the reasons to be returned back in the company? It is not always pay. Might be some facilities, might be some practices which is going to attract. How can my company mitigate and adapt to climate change? Most important. What is business sustainability? And how can I find resources on the other questions or find out about new research or research in progress on the other issues? So that is the end for sustainable business must know. Prepare these answers. Might be by interacting with yourself. So this is what I have derived. That must be the change you want to see in the world. Make it in your practice. Bring it all these things to your practice. And it is time to give back to the society. What are we today? It is because of the society. मंदिर मस्जिद और चर्च में आपके गुरुद्वारा में सब जाते हो माथा टेकते हो. मैं नहीं जाता. क्यों नहीं जाता? I feel society is the God who has given me a lot, and because of the society I am here. So it is the time where I can really give back to my society. Do your best in the practices in the future where you can really give back something to society. If your company earns a profit, management will never deny, they will never say you no to go back to do some good thing. People are there which they require your need, your support. That's all from my side. Thank you. Any questions?
Sir, my name is J. Venkata Durga Prasad.
Yeah.
I worked as environment engineer for the Reliance Power Project, Krishnapatnam Ultra Mega Power Project.
I know.
And my question is, in developing countries like India, how can we maintain like energy, environment, economy in a single frame?
See, energy, that's what I was talking while coming with Rakesh. India, 110 billion people, 120 billion people. We cannot afford to have natural resources imported from outside country, getting a power generated at 12 rupees a unit. Probably that is the reason why US has already established the most mega project for solar. We are still into 30 megawatt. The country has attached into its portfolio. We need cheap power, because most of the things are subsidized in India. To develop cheap power, we need cheap resources. That is how coal comes into picture. That's what I understand. Framing energy, economy, and the environment. So what happens? I have my personal opinion about this, that you go for a better technology. Probably in place of 10 in the pollution index, where you will be in the 10, might be you will be in 6, might be at the later stage you will come down to 4 and make it, someday you will make it to 0. That is where your approach should be, that at what maximum extent I can go, wherein I really can contribute towards the energy as well as the economic side for the development of my country. So its technology selection is the most important part upon which I can survive. Yeah.
Sir, I have a few questions. First of which is, what is your view on green tax and whether it should be levied on domestic coal and the coal that India exports to countries like Nepal, Bangladesh and Bhutan? Nepal, Bangladesh and Bhutan. We export coal to them at a very cheap price. Foreign governments are against.
Yeah.
Do you think we should be levying green tax on the coal that we export?
See, what is green tax? Let us say what is green tax. Green tax, it means are you taking green tax as a positive impact or as a negative impact?
As a positive.
As a positive impact. If it means if I am practicing more greener or my technology supports more green, then probably I should be given some rebate which I take into the positive part. When I am emitting more, then I should be levied upon this green tax. So it may be your domestic coal, it may be your imported coal, it may be your gas or whatever things may be. Irrespective of the fuel, irrespective of the raw materials, your process, which is the main factor on emissions, should be levied on taxes based upon the emission factors. It should be load-based emission.
This shouldn't be standardized as.
See, it is a segment-wise standardization is required. Probably CPCP is working on that. That's what my information is.
The second is Thermal Power Station with the coal-based thing has got the ISO 5001 certification. Do you think the other power plants that Reliance is setting up will probably apply for it?
Probably on the later stage they will go for it. Daham is a very older station. They have complied 100% some 5 years, 7 years back. So they are achieving every day a new milestone. So others will definitely follow suit.
The other one is that usually I've read that Reliance tries to optimize its green belt, even though it's mandated at 33%. Via better design and structures, you get more out of your land. So what is it that you do in terms of the percentage that you're allotting to the green belt, and what do you do with that? You just plant trees?
As I remember, we have never compromised on the areas to be diverted for green belt. What is there in the stipulation? It has been addressed to very properly. There is a organization, means the sister concern, Reliance Greens, who takes care of those things. So we translate, as an environment person, I translate the stipulations to engineering aspect, give them proper space, and the space as per requirement of the stipulations. And based on that, green belts are under development in all the places. I don't think we have compromised with anywhere. No.
So the last one is your significance of the merger of Reliance Natural Resources from a green point of view into Reliance Power.
Sorry, I couldn't get you. Can you be specific?
You've actually merged Reliance Natural Resources, which actually supplies coal and other resources to your plants, gas. You've actually brought that under Reliance Power. Is it for better efficiency?
No, I am not aware of this. I am not sure about that. Why that has happened? It has happened, but why that I am not sure.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other
As we have seen that Reliance is leading in power, leading power projects in the project as well as in future also will do. We have already acquired 3 ultra mega power projects. Now talking about sustainable business, how Reliance see the green energy in future coming for the renewable energy?
We are also already into renewable source of energy. We are putting up a 200 megawatt wind power in Maharashtra, 100 megawatt concentrated solar power, and 40 megawatt is of PV. That's already in process. Probably next 2 years time you will have it in our portfolio in the generating side.
1,000 megawatts.
It is already financial closure has been made for that. Last week only we were there.
There's a 600 megawatt plant coming up. So that your portfolio target was to make 1,000 megawatts.
That will happen, but that will take some time. But immediately we are working on these projects. Yeah. Anybody else? Apart from this sustainability and all these things, whatever there in your mind, you can ask me. So provided it should be related to environment, don't ask me economics. You all people have come with some working background with you. So, what do you feel that will it be successful venture in putting of sustainability into your practices, to practice it in your future avenue? You feel?
Definitely. Yes, sir.
So, share with me at least 2-3 points which you feel as a hindrance that may not make you to achieve this sustainability. Might be some XYZ organization, whatever the organization may be. What are the factors you feel? That will be an input for me. That will give a thought. That will give a thought for me. What do you feel? Any one of you can speak up. Well, do you feel that this may be one of the constants which will put me back, not making sustainable as a practice? नहीं? मैं बताऊं आपको क्या क्वेश्चन, पहला क्वेश्चन मिलेगा, क्या मिलेगा इसको करके? That is what you are going to face as your first question from a manager. कौन से sustainability की बात कर रहे हो? क्या मिलने वाला है इससे? What you are going to get ultimately? Answer these 10 questions, you will be able to answer this. I leave this presentation with any one of you, and you can, please don't search internet. Write religiously what you need to do. You will get answers, and frankly speaking, religiously speaking, it is going to help you in your future. Make it a practice. At any point of time, probably my email ID is there. You can, any one of you can write me mails. Any of your doubts regarding environment, energy, and sustainability, you can write me. Okay? Thank you very much.